Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.
Tonight's veteran spent 2 decades in the Navy specializing in electronic warfare and managed to retire by the age of 38.
KSN's Mike Mahoney tells us his story on tonight's Veteran Salute.
I had an uncle that retired in the Navy as a Master Chief, and I kind of looked up to him for that.
Wichita native Galen Klein made that uncle proud when he followed in his footsteps and enlisted in the Navy in 1975. He soon found himself training in electronic warfare.
The basic precept of electronic warfare is detection and deception. If we had enough radars in the same bearing, we were able to determine the class of ship.
Galen spent his career primarily patrolling the Pacific on 4 separate ships, and his first was the USS Cochrane.
It was an eye-opening experience, you know, being from the wheat fields and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed the ship.
After 2.5 years, Galen was transferred to the USS Ranger, an aircraft carrier that patrolled the Indian Ocean during the Iran hostage crisis.
Prevent the Iranians from choking off ships transiting the Persian Gulf.
Galen's next assignment was at the Naval Technical Training Center in Pensacola, where he served as a naval instructor and was promoted to Chief Petty Officer.
It was nice to go to a restaurant or to a bar, you know, just to sit down and have a couple. You know, sleeping on the world's largest waterbed gets old after a while.
Galen found himself headed back to the Pacific for his 3rd ship assignment and ended up spending a half-decade on the USS Whipple. Now he was handling more than just tracking equipment.
I had to relearn my role because it was more leadership and management at that time when I made chief.
Following his time on the Whipple, Galen was sent to San Diego, where he focused on Navy management supply support while learning about computers. He had his eyes on retirement, but had one last tour that took him to Japan. He served on the USS Mobile Bay and happened to meet a very special woman from Salina while he was out there.
We tell the story of how we met. And I say, well, I had to go 6,000 miles to meet my wife.
Galen retired at the age of 38 as a chief electronics warfare technician and returned to the air capital, where he got married, had a child, and a career in IT. When reflecting on his 20 years of service, he focuses on the good he saw in the people in the 25 countries that he visited.
Most of the people that I've met from the different countries I've been to were very nice, very polite. Quite welcoming.
Here for you, Mike Mahoney, KSN News 3.
The Devon James Injury Lawyers here with our Veteran of the Week, and that's Chief Galen Klein, who served our country in the United States Navy for 20 years. On behalf of all of Kansas, thank you so much for your service.
Well, I appreciate that very much. It was an honor to serve. So, thank you very much for Devon James.
Veteran Salute is sponsored by the Devon James Injury Lawyers.